we're carrying over our conversation from the last segment about the Dodgers flipping back and forth between the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and whether or not they're invited to Pride Night. What this is,
just a ridiculous story to begin
Sports Today in a stadium. I think the toughest ticket to sell is the cheapest one. It's the upper deck. In regards to, you've got high school football teams. They're invited to an NFL game. They're not sitting down low. They put them up top because those tickets are not selling. For $45, you're not going to spend that money to sit up top where you can't even see the game really, to sit out in the elements, to sit in traffic, to potentially and probably pay for parking. It's an all-day event on an NFL Sunday. You'd rather stay at home. The best seat in the house is at home. So this is an effort. My guess is, Chad, a lot of the Pride Night tickets are giveaways. They're inviting people to the stadium to buy concessions and merch, the Pride merch, because the average fan is not going to buy that merchandise. And it's an effort to sell more merch than it is sell a ticket. And I'm looking around on we're honoring, blank night. It's whatever you want to fill in the blank with. They don't have courtside tickets. They're up top. And specifically with the outdoor stadiums, nowadays, the toughest ticket is the cheapest one.
Well, I agree with you, but here's an idea for the Dodgers. Instead of inviting the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence or whatever it is, invite local Little League teams to come out.
They do.
Try to harvest fans for a long time to come out there. I mean, just an honest question. How many of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are going to return and pay for tickets to go to Los Angeles Dodgers games?
They're not going to return and pay for tickets.
It's common sense about who is your market.
Their market is them for their Pride Night jerseys that they're selling or the hats. They're making very specific merch that sells in that pro shop that night. That's what they're selling. And they're doing it. No one's complaining about the Little League night. That's why we don't hear about it.
Of course. And I'd want more of those things if I'm a team.
But, I mean, think about
the ones that's not starting a huge controversy.
But, again, I agree with you. But for whatever reason, teams, they're not just dipping their toe in it. They're diving head first, and they're so turned around and confused. They don't know what to do, what's right, what's wrong. They're just following the social media wave, which isn't real half the time anyway.
Yeah, it's just, and it's so... this next statement could be summed up, and we could just clarify and solve so many problems if we went by this take on everything. Just use common sense. You know what's not going to get you in trouble? Honoring troops who sacrifice themselves for us on a daily basis. Bringing out Little League teams to your ballpark. Never heard the family or parents of a Little League kid who got invited to a minor league baseball game or a major league baseball game or an NFL game or anything that left saying, man, I really hate that team now for inviting me out. Never heard a fan of a team saying, man, I wish they didn't invite that junior high football team out to the game on Sunday or the baseball game this past weekend. Never have I heard any of that. Use common sense. Who's your ticket base? Who are your fans? How can I piss off the least amount of people and do something that serves me and my team? These are all common sense examples of what to do. Inviting the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence for Pride Night, not one of those things. Not going to help. Marco Rubio returns that serve right back to Rob Manfred, and you disinvite them. And then everyone else gets pissed off, and then you invite them again. Stay out of it by not inviting them in the first place. Boom. I just solved your problem for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll now charge you $500,000 for a consulting fee, which you're probably paying someone right now to get you out of this stupid web that you've woven with this group.
Well, but here's my next question. Would the clickbait headline stop if they did a Christian night? One night.
No. Because someone is going to write a column in the LA Times and say,
but it's the same. It's one night, just like you can do whatever you want to. This is an anti-Catholic group. If you did a Christian night, would the headline stop?
No. They would continue.
Because the headlines right now are about the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. That's my point.
I believe they would continue for this reason.
And I don't care. I don't care about them. Or really, anyone, again, if I'm going to a game, I don't care who I'm sitting next to. And the media in particular wants me to care, and I don't give a damn who I'm sitting next to if I'm paying my money to go to a game and watch my team play. And the reaction comes from what the media reports on and the clickbait BS
but it's not,
that
this
it
is
comes
not,
from,
but
and
this
the
is
Dodgers
not,
are playing back and forth with
this is the Dodgers' fault, though, for doing this to begin with.
And the politicians are getting involved with it, too.
Yeah, it's not, and to me, this is not the media's fault. Now, if they did a Christian night, here's my prediction of what would happen. Those same LA Times writers who were upset about them being disinvited in the first place are going to then come back and say, these, what was the
I'm not saying disinvited.
These right-wing meanies
Right.
are now going out of their way to appease the Christian right, and they've disinvited this other group, and now this is a problem. Here's the way I look at it, though, if I'm a team. And I half joke about I stand for nothing, but I am about the team. If I'm the Dodgers, every night is Pride Night, just like every night is Christian night, just like every night is Jewish night, just like every night is Latin American night. If you want to come and watch this team play and buy a ticket, I'm all for people of all creed, color, belief, politics, everything to come to the ballpark and watch the team.
Right.
Stop dividing it up and trying to honor different groups on different nights. I honor Dodgers fans or Padres fans or anyone that wants to come to the ballpark. Giants fans, if you want to come to a game. I honor baseball fans that come to the park. It's that simple.
But this has turned into a political game of Republican and Democrat BS instead of it being about the game. That's what it is. And the teams are the pawns in this because they feed off of whatever the reaction is. And the common sense element to me is just realizing that you're used as a chess piece, or maybe you're playing checkers, instead of actually feeding into a small group of vocal minority. And I refuse to just bend to that, period, on either side of the aisle. And I mean, from a team perspective, that's why I set up the last topic with you, Chad. It should just be about, hey, we're going to win at all costs.
Yeah, the teams should know this by now.
Write a column if you want to.
When they put the invitation out and they start the night, and this is going to be the response.
And the columnists who are writing first off, the newspaper columnists that are doing this barely have a job as it is. And chances are they're going to the game to cover this one way or the other, either way. And they'll write a negative story one way or the other, either way. So I'm just not buying the whole realm of, it's just for clicks and we're covering this or that based on whatever night it is. Just stop with it. Because if you just evened it out by saying, okay, this is anti-Catholic. What if you had a Catholic night? Is that going to stop the headline? No, it will not.
It's why
it's not a 50% one way, 50% the other.
I'm not sitting here, petitioning for a Catholic night or a Christian night or a Jewish night or anything. I'm saying because every night is Dodgers night. And if you want to come watch a Dodgers game, we are welcoming to all different groups and all different backgrounds. We want you here. We want to treat you like family. We want this to be our community. Hutton, you talked about you don't care when you're at a ball game. And you're right,
no.
when you give someone a high five, what their beliefs are.
Your team scores at a hockey game. You don't care who you're sitting next to.
We want more of that. And the fact that these teams aren't smarter than this at this point, they know exactly when they throw that ball into the air how it's going to get batted back and forth. And if they don't, they're stupid by now. Stop the serve and volley. Just stop it and stop with all of it.
A vast majority of the public, I believe, stupid in this. We're all the pawn in this political game. Where now Rubio's got a headline based on this, based on the re-invite, and Rob Manfred is involved in it now, and it's an upper deck section.
Yeah, look, I do not disagree with you.
I
do not disagree with you. But if you want it, this all started with the Dodgers invite. So if you don't want to get involved and start that game going back and forth,
no, it's not just the Dodgers though, Chad.
Approach.
It's any team.
Absolutely,
it's any team.
I'm talking about this story specifically, but every team. I have been very clear on my creed. If I own a team, we are about the team. Stand for nothing else. We're not doing special interest nights. The special interest is my team, and you having a good time at the ballpark or the field or whatever. If you do that, you avoid these stupid stories. Very simple.
Well, no, but you can be about special interest nights, but it's got to be
Not
where
me.
the. But there's a reason why radio stations want the state lottery to sponsor a show, and the reason for that is there's no competition for the state lottery. So the Tennessee Lottery in town is getting hit up to sponsor every show in Tennessee because there's no competition there, which means you can advertise literally any other product on said show. That's like Cancer Awareness Month, where you have the NFL wear pink. They can wear the pink wristbands. My Cause, My Cleats. No one ever sees them because they get to warm up them, and then they don't actually wear them during the game to where it's on a CBS or Fox or ESPN camera. Point being, like, keep it simple. It's very, to me, very common sense, especially when you see the clickbait headlines. It serves everybody but the fan.
I agree. And it starts with the team. Just stop it. Stop playing into it.